Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about the hashtag men are trash. Yes, men are trash. It is the truth. Men are indeed trash. I mean, now don't come at me with your not all men bullshit. If you're a man and you think you are not trash, just jog on. However, it doesn't change the fact that men are trash. By sharing her experiences, women with online dating profiles already know that men are trash, as exemplified by the unsolicited dick pictures men send us, the explicit messages telling us what they want to stick in our mouths, invitation to sit on their faces and let them hit us before we've even exchanged as much as a hello, and the creepy ways they inform us just how much they want to fill our holes with their imaginary 10-inch dicks. Yes, men are trash. But I'll say, however, occupying a special place of men who are trash are men who catcall. Men who catcall are a physical, constant reminder that men are in the trash. I've written before about the evils of catcalls and street harassment. Many of us have explained so many times why catcalling is degrading, demeaning, and a form of sexual assault. Do they listen? No, they don't. Do men ever listen anyway? They continue to catcall because they have dicks. And that is what they think with, and it gives them a sense of entitlement to a woman's body and attention. I am so tired of being tired of men who won't let a woman have her own space on the streets. No, they got to come up all in our faces and demand that we smile for them. Heaven forbid we don't entertain their demand, as that would indeed be an excuse for them to get up close in our face and demand to know why we aren't jumping up for joy when they compliment our big boobs, our cute ass, or nice legs. I say yes, men are indeed trash. I am so tired of hiding away or putting on my headphones to black out the street noise just to avoid the constant harassment from men who think it is okay to tell me to smile. Strangers who shout after me, nice ass, and somehow expect me to turn around, smile with gratitude, and say, thanks, kind sir, for noticing. I do squats to get my glutes banging. Oh God, really? Men are trash. Just the other day, as I was walking home, some white guys, about four of them, started catcalling me. I ignored them and increased my pace to get away. They had obviously been drinking, some of them were holding beer cans. I hurried away from them, but they continued leering at me, commenting on my body with a special focus on my ass and legs. Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to wait for the traffic light to change. They caught up with me, and one of them moved very close to me and practically whispered creepy things into my ears. It was all about how he would love to fuck my ass. While I waited for the traffic light to change, I had to endure listening to these trashy men talk about my body as if I was just an object and not a human being. I quickly crossed to the other side of the road as soon as I could and moved to the other side of the road just to get away from them, even though that was a longer route for me. It is so sad that as a woman, I am often compelled to bear those harassments in silence. And most times, we are the ones as women who must move out of the way of those bullies, even if it means taking the longer route. Indeed, men are trash. Today, on my way to the gym, I had a nasty catcall encounter. I'd been having a bad day. In fact, it had been bad days for weeks now. So I was really, really looking forward to working out to let out some steam. There was this black dude on a bike coming towards me, uh, towards my direction. He stopped near me and disembarked. As I was As I walked past him, he looked at me and said in a very creepy voice, hello, looking good? I couldn't be bothered to respond, so I kept walking. But he got furious and shouted after me, I would blast your ass. Typical man trash. I continued to ignore him and quickly crossed to the other side of the road. However, guess who came chasing after me on his bike? Yeah, the creepy asshole. This dude had the audacity to get on his bike, chase after me, and try to chastise me for not returning his greetings. To top it all, he said, I am your African brother, and you are feeling too big to talk to me. Oh, God. I think it was at this point that I lost it. All through his catcalling, insults, and chastising me, I had tried to keep my cool and just kept walking as we were now on the high street with a few people around. However, everyone has a breaking point, and I think that was mine. How dare this self-centered, sexist pig of a man invade my space this way? Is it because he has a dick and felt obliged to tell me how he would blast my ass with it? Somehow I was supposed to be grateful to him for that compliment. Compliment indeed. I stopped walking, faced this asshole, and belted out in my black, angry woman voice. How dare you harass me on the street? How dare you refer to yourself as my African brother when you just shouted at me how you would blast my ass? How dare you try to mansplain to me that I was rude for not acknowledging your catcalls? Do you speak to your mothers like that? Do you speak to your sisters in that manner? You are nothing but a fucking sexual harasser and a bully. By this time, I was visibly angry, and my voice rose with every word I threw at him. I didn't know how much of that pent-up anger was in me until I let it all splash out on this creepy asshole. The guy was visibly shocked. The surprise on his face was priceless. He probably didn't know I had a voice, as I had kept silent all through his talking to me, all through his harassment. This time, I was the one really in his creepy, perverted face, screaming at him and ready to scratch his ass out. He was like, whoa, what just happened here? Yeah, asshole. What happened was that I got tired of you harassing me, telling me how you want to blast my ass, and having the effrontery to chase me and chastise me for not acknowledging your creepy, sorry ass existence. Men are trash. And to my utmost surprise, this creepy black dude dared to use race in an attempt to make it look like I was the one in the wrong. He actually said, probably for the benefit of the white people around, you are African. This is how we do in Africa. At that point, I felt like dragging him down from his bike and whoop his silly, creepy ass. He surely needed a beating. However, instead of beating him up, I told him if he thinks harassing a woman on the street is an African thing, he must have been raised by baboons. At this point, he knew I was so angry I could get physical with him right on the street and not in the way he would love. So he started moving away from me on his bike. When the coward thought he was at a safe distance away, he started screaming inanities at me again. Screaming insults at me from far away. He was like, I will blast your ass and you would come begging for more. Oh, men are trash. Yes, it was like, I will blast your ass and you will come begging for more. You are big-headed. You are big-headed. You hypocrite. Just come and let me give it to you. You come back there for, oh God. I still don't understand the you hypocrite accusation. But to top the list of the silly things he screamed at me, this black African dude looked back at me from his bike and started shouting, Go back to Africa. At this point, I knew for sure he has no functioning brain. The only thing he thinks with must be his dick. Uh, he was just another brainless, creepy asshole who couldn't understand why a woman he didn't know would be angry at him for saying he wants to blast her ass. And well, at least it was the first time a fellow African screamed at me to go back to Africa on the streets of Britain just because I wouldn't let him blast my ass. What a dick. I wish we had a provision for lodging complaints of such street harassment. Because at what point exactly should women report catcalling as sexual harassment? I walk peacefully on the street and a group of guys talk loudly about my body, what they like to do with my ass, boobs, and vagina. Yet I am supposed to just shrug it off and walk on. A man catcalls and screams at me that after he blasts my ass, I will come begging for more. Somehow, I am expected to ignore this assault and be adult about it. Because men will be men. I have had men hoot at me and throw drinks at me from their moving cars. I have had men forcefully invade my space, follow me, demand that I smile, and insist that I acknowledge their greetings. Do we ever consider the emotional anguish this causes women all day? At what point am I allowed to defend myself from this type of street harassment? For all men who are trash, consider this a warning. I am tired of being tired of your misogyny. I am tired of being tired of your sexism. I am tired of being tired of your catcalls. I am definitely tired of being tired of your self-entitlement. I am tired of being tired of having to vacate my space to, to escape your harassment. I am tired of being tired of patriarchy. If you come at me with your catcalls and dare to invade my space with your creepy face, be ready to have that creepy face of yours meet with my fist or my pepper spray. It is only fair that if you are eager to tell me how you will blast my ass, I should feel no remorse or no qualm about blasting your face with my pepper spray. And while you are writhing in pain, I might as well just take down your pants and pepper spray your useless good for nothing dick. Maybe then, just maybe then, you will begin to understand and experience just a fraction of the pain your constant street harassment cause women like me. Don't you dare come at me, bro, because you might not have a dick left by the time I finish with you. And considering that your dick is the one thing you build your existence and self-esteem around, you will be as good as dead without it. So be warned.